Hi, I'm Colton Dodson. This is my audience. Have you ever had a long day at work or at school and wanted to do nothing more than lay down and watch some Netflix or Hulu? And when that opportunity arises, you scroll through the seemingly endless options just to pick another episode of The Office, which you've seen 20 times already? Well, if that scenario is something that you go through often, fret not, because I have something that might help you out. Your solution is to pick up a new show to watch. But what new show should you watch, you might ask yourself? Well, the next show you should watch is Game of Thrones. Over the last 7 years, I have become a huge fan of the show, and in order to understand it a little more, I took a theater and performing arts class for an elective and attended a few guest lectures about the show, which included a lecture by the man who created the famous Dothraki language in the show. So I'm pretty familiar with the show, to say the least. And as someone who is skeptical of the show, at first, let me say that it will exceed your expectations, and I really think everyone should give it a shot. There are a lot of reasons why I think you should watch Game of Thrones. The first reason is that it's one of the most successful shows ever. The second reason is that it helps you see the world in a different view. And finally, the last reason is because it has some of the best storytelling ever. So let's start with the first topic. Game of Thrones is one of the most awarded and recognizable shows on television today. According to the Primetime Emmy website, Game of Thrones is one of the most awarded shows ever. It has 38 Primetime Emmy wins, which have been in categories for directing, acting, and overall quality. It is the most all-time, barely surpassing Frasier, which has 37 wins. Along with its 38 Emmy wins, it also has 128 nominations, including 7 consecutive nominations in the Best Drama Series category. In addition to its awards, it has some viewership stats to brag about. According to Marketplace.org, Game of Thrones has become HBO's most popular show ever, passing the likes of another couple HBO shows, The Sopranos and The Wire. And during its last season, Season 7, Game of Thrones averaged 25.7 million viewers per episode. And according to TorrentFreak.com, a popular streaming website, Game of Thrones has been the most illegally streamed TV show on the internet for the last 6 years. It has generated over 10 million illegal views per episode, which is really a lot. So we've talked about a couple things about the show. We've talked about the most successful show ever, and now let's go to the next step, how it helps us see the world differently. There's a few aspects to this show that can have some real-world effects for you. The first aspect is that Game of Thrones is a very graphic show at times, and by that, I mean that there's a lot more nudity in it than you expect to see on a normal American television. Watching the show allows you to see the type of television that's shown throughout other countries in the world, like the UK. For example, nudity in American television, it's had a long history, but in essence, it's easy to say that it's frowned upon. Back in 2004, during the Super Bowl halftime, Janet Jackson had a wardrobe malfunction during her performance, and the FCC, the people who control American television, fined her $550,000. While that wouldn't happen in the UK because there's a different approach to censoring television. They believe, according to tvtropes.org, that violence should be censored more than nudity. So they aren't really bothered by topless people or anything like that. And the second aspect is that its politics give us a different perspective on governments. Another thing Game of Thrones is known for is its powerful women. Throughout the show, women are often in power and in charge. And according to research done by Clapton and Shepard, Game of Thrones and its powerful women offer valuable representation of women in top government roles. It provides perspective that isn't often seen in the real world, and people can learn from it, even though it's just considered a pop culture phenomenon. We have talked about the real-world aspects of the show. Now let's consider its really good storytelling. Game of Thrones is one show that has tons of twists and turns, and it takes you on a roller coaster of emotions. The show follows four powerful families in medieval time, and it shows their struggle for power against each other and against otherworldly creatures. It utilizes tons of plot devices, and it has excellent dialogue. One method the show uses a lot is the plot twist. According to Hector J. Perez, Game of Thrones' use of the plot twist is in one of its seasons is unique because of the role the fans play in it. There was a popular theory among fans that required something to happen in the show. They all believed this theory was going to happen, but when the plot twist occurred, the theory was false, and everyone went crazy because they had believed this theory for the last 7 years. And there's proof that the show can take you on a roller coaster of emotions, and that can be seen anywhere on the internet. After an especially eventful episode of Game of Thrones, videos showing people's reactions to the episode went viral. Millions of people watched as viewers of the show were taken for a ride. Even the creator of the book series, which the show is based off of, George R. R. Martin, as cited by Smith, commented on the reaction videos saying that he always likes unexpected things, and he always likes the suspense to be real. He wants his readers and my viewers to be afraid. His vision certainly comes true while watching the show. We have talked about storytelling, now let's recap. So, I believe Game of Thrones is an essential show to watch for everyone. I'm overly passionate about this show for no other reason than it is an absolute pleasure to watch. It'll make you excited, it'll make you angry, and it'll make you cry. It's a blast. It's an incredibly successful show with 38 Emmy Awards and 128 nominations, and people are going to big lengths to watch it, making it the most streamed show of the past 6 years. It allows you to experience television like you've never seen it before, and gives you different perspectives on the world. Its storytelling is captivating and incredible, with plot twists and huge reactions. And if after hearing this speech you still don't want to watch the show, I urge you to please reconsider. You don't want to be left out on this pop culture phenomenon. Thank you.